It's time, Kevin, for a July 4th freedom-themed Saints mailbag plus what we love about America. Thomas, hit that intro.
Welcome to Saints Happy Hour podcast. We never trade up.
If there was a path to give up 3 first-round picks to get Jayden Daniels, I would do it. And I would pick Jayden Daniels.
Now grab a drink and enjoy the show.
All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour podcast. Thanks for joining us. Find us on the YouTubes, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, go to patreon.com/Saints Happy Hour, become a patron, support the show. We need all the help we can get. All right, I got Kevin with me, I got Thomas. It's 4th of July, or 4th of July weekend, depending on whenever you're listening to or watching this podcast. So me and Kevin decided, we said we love America, and we're going to talk about why we love America, and we asked patrons to give us Saints July 4th themed questions. So we're going to answer those. Those are going to be fun. But here's the thing, Kevin. I saw a poll that said like 36% of Democrats don't feel great about America, and like 90% of Republicans feel great about America. And that has to do with the president. Who's the president?
It almost always does.
It always does. Like if you're big into politics and your team's president isn't in the office, you don't feel great about America. But I'm here to tell you, I love America all the time. We're not perfect. We do some stuff that's not great, but we're the best country that's ever been. And I'm gonna give the people a little tip. Here's the thing. That's the one thing that annoys me, and it kind of annoys me as I've gotten older. I've gotten more liberal, and it annoys me a little bit. Don't cede the patriotic symbols to the other team.
Right.
Like if you are liberal, wave the flag. Be happy about the things that you love about America. Don't let the other team or your political enemy, don't be like, oh, that's theirs. No.
Right.
The American flag is for everybody. The beach is for everybody. All the things that we love about America, it's for everybody. And here's the thing.
Right.
I was thinking about this, Kevin. Like, what do you love about America that like gets you like that you really unabashedly love it? And I'll say it. America, the thing that I love, and this is a Saints podcast, this is my number one thing. Nobody does gigantic sporting events as much and as consistently as America. And I'll give you an example. They have a show, it's called like Focus or something. It was a BBC show. And the guy would go around America and he would just like be amazed at like crazy American stuff. And he went to Auburn, Alabama football game. And he was like, this is crazy. It's a middle of November. It's not a national soccer game. It's not a championship game. It's just some crazy football game in the middle of nowhere, America. And it's 80,000 lunatics going berserk over it. And they treat it like it's the most important thing of the year. And it was at Auburn, Alabama. So in Alabama, it literally is the most important thing of the year. And America, we do that with sporting events all over the country. Gigantic stadiums, even like Division II teams that are like North, South Dakota, they play in the Dome. It's as big as like a regular like average European soccer stadium. And I love the fact that America is just like, you know what? We're doing this big, giant, freaking sporting event in the middle of nowhere, like College World Series. LSU just won it. Gigantic sporting event, lasted like a week and a half. We just do it. And that's what America does. We do big, giant,
and we do it in Omaha, Nebraska.
Omaha. Like, what other country in the world is just like doing a gigantic sporting event in the middle of the country where it's not that many people? I love it about it. I love that about America. I love it. No one else is doing it like we're doing it.
I just like the idea. I just like you saying nobody's doing it like we're doing it. Shoot, I just had
Mario
I had my-
Speedwagon in 1983.
I had my things pulled up here. Yeah, see, that's kind of that's I will give you. So we're just gonna ping back and forth, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna lead off with kind of a lame one, but I still love it. The post office. I love the post office.
That's right.
Ever since I was a kid, I have always loved mail, the mail carrier, getting mail, sending mail, going to the post office. Like the post offices tend to have like this unique smell to them. How this giant apparatus takes all of the mail and manages to send it and sort it and send it in all these places. It's like, oh, I can go buy a stamp and put it on an envelope and write a letter or just send a bill, because that's usually what they are. But I can write a letter, put a stamp on it, and I can send it just about anywhere in the country, and maybe for a little bit more, I can send it anywhere on the planet. To me, that's magic. Like, that's actual magic being done by an apparatus of the government. Yeah, so put me, I'll be the nerd and I'll say the post office. The post office is a good thing, and anybody that wants to disrupt that
Post office
can piss off.
Post office is one of those things you don't really think about it as magic. It's like the sun coming up every day.
Yeah.
But if it was gone, it would be like crazy. And I just want to give an example. We have a patron, Kevin, in Fort Yates, North Dakota. I've never heard of that place. I don't know anything about it, but he's a patron, and
Now you got me looking up where Fort Yates is.
And he was like, hey, man, I got the stickers. Could you send me some more of the Jim Morris stickers? And I was like, cool, I'll do it for you. I loaded up an envelope, put some postage on it, dropped it off at the post office. And last week, he's like, thanks, bro. I got the Jim Morris stickers. I love them. And it was just magic. And I like the post office. I love like the post. It's great. And I know other places have the post office, but there's no other like Poland, as great as it is, Thomas, y'all are small. Y'all are like a state. United States is 50 states plus all the what do you call them? Like Guam and all those. And and I think it's cool. I think it's a cool American thing. Like you said, the post office. No, another thing that I'm going to say is cool is, and I don't want to make it Texas specific, so I'm not.
No, you can. Go on ahead.
I love the road trip. And I think the road trip is specific to America in that I think people in Europe, they travel around, but I don't
but they have public transportation. Reliable public transportation.
Thomas, y'all, like if you're like, I'm going to Germany for to vacation, you don't like hop in your car and drive, right? So I love the road trip, Kevin. I love stopping at Buc-ee's. I love stopping at weird on the side of the road places and getting strange food. Like as a kid, my parents had a camper that we would pull behind a Suburban, and we would go to Alabama, Mississippi, Florida. We never went to Texas or Arkansas, oddly, but we would go to state parks, and I love the freaking road trip, and I love the fact that the road trip in America is tied to consumerism and eating products, fast food, all of it. And Buc-ee's is Buc-ee's is the pinnacle. Like they don't have, it's not, their food isn't as great as some people said, but the Buc-ee's experience is amazing. So that's my second thing before we get into the questions. What else do you love about America, Kevin?
Sure. So Fort Yates has a population of 1,100 people. It is right by the Sitting Bull Burial Site and Memorial, and it is along the Missouri River. It's basically
home to a Saints Happy Hour patron.
Yeah. So another thing that I really like about America is the national parks.
Oh yeah.
I like your national parks, your national public spaces. I am not an avid, I would never call myself an avid hiker or adventurer or anything like that. But whenever I see pictures or videos of these great national parks, and typically they're out west. They just look beautiful. And look, there are national parks in the east. I know that for a fact. But
the west is
the ones I typically see are in the mountain and the Pacific time zones, and they all look glorious. Like I got to go. Like the one thing that I wanted to check off, one of the things I wanted to check off my bucket list was seeing the Grand Canyon. And I did. I went to that almost 2 years ago, and it's majestic. I went there for the sunrise. Like I can't properly put into words. Like that's a thing that was there eons before any of us, and it will continue to be there eons after we're gone.
Yeah,
it's just great. And so I recommend, if any of you have a chance to go to a national park, go to one. If it's one in your state or within driving distance, like go to it. If there's one that's a little bit further out that you have to make a significant trip for, go to it. Yeah, and look, we were talking about North Dakota, and I know it's not in North Dakota, it's in South Dakota. Go to Mount Rushmore, even though that has the baggage associated with it. But go to Mount Rushmore and then look around elsewhere, like outside of that
great
area.
American thing, by the way. America looked at the mountain and was like, "We're carving faces in the mountain."
Yeah, well, there's still an unfortunate history with that, but
there is. One thing I'll say,
but again, the point is, travel somewhere and make it a point to go and see something beautiful that exists in the natural world, or something that exists that was put there by us to blend into the landscape. So again, national park, like again, the mountain and the Pacific time zones, it like, shoot, you probably can't throw a rock in Utah and not hit something that's considered a national park.
Listen, COVID was terrible, and people died. You had your father, and Shelly lost 6 of her relatives. Like, it was terrible. COVID was awful all the way up and down. And this is not, well, it shouldn't be that high on the list, but it is kind of high on the list for things that when I associate with COVID is my wife planned like a 12-day trip to where Grand Canyon into Utah, Yellowstone, a bunch of parks, Zion National Park in Utah, like planned it all. We were going to wrap it up in Vegas and fly home, and COVID just nuked it, all of it. You know?
Yeah, I was going to go. The original plan was for me to go to the Grand Canyon in September of 2020, because that's when I was turning 40. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, oh, I'll go see the Grand Canyon when I turn 40, because that means something. And that got blown up, and then other things were happening, and then it just kept getting put off until I finally said to hell with it and just went. Like part of me was waiting to see it with somebody, to like go on a trip with somebody. You know, like I know we joke about you know, the Kevin Love update and how, you know, forlorn and all that stuff my life is, but at some point I just had to make a decision, like, to hell with waiting for somebody to go with me.
Just go.
I have to go myself and just experience it for me. So go make a point to go to a national park. I'm not saying you got to buy a seasonal pass and make it a point to go see 10 of them. Just pick one. Pick one and go to it.
And there's probably one near you, wherever you're listening to this podcast. My last thing on this is, I will say, a lot of people are like, I don't want to have kids. America's so terrible. The world's in a doom and gloom, and I can't bring a kid into the world, and it's always the oceans are boiling. And I'll say this to those people. I would say, I had a kid. I was old. I was 40. He's 9. And I'll say this, Kevin. Having a kid has made me more optimistic. I was already an optimistic person by nature, but
so that's
having a
where
kid
the toxic positivity comes from. All right, that's
right.
Max's fault.
Yes, it is. Blame Max. But here's my thing. I believe America is the greatest country the world has ever created. And yes, we struggle, and yes, we have dips or whatever, but Max has got to find his way in this world, in America. And sorry, Thomas, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I wouldn't want Max growing up anywhere else besides America. And I think about that a lot, and it's going to be okay. And America's great, and we're going to have bad leaders, and we're going to have good leaders, but we're going to endure, and we have done amazing things. And I wish everybody would love America as much as I love America. And you should. It's awesome. And yes, we should try to fix it. And yes, we should try to make it better. But that's my final spiel as we go through our why we love America.
All right, I'll go one more. And honestly, I thought, see, you did the sports thing and basically just took you seemingly just took all the sports. So I'm not going to say anything about that. But there were a couple other ones that I could have said for the third one, but I am going to pick another nerdy one, and I am going to say NASA. Again, I am in the tank for space exploration. I am in the tank for research, for going into outer space, for rockets, for all that stuff. It bothers me that the U.S. is seemingly farming that shit out. Like, NASA was a government project, and yes, it was started because of the space race with the Russians, and we were all terrified that somehow you would get on the moon and be able to bomb a country from the moon. But the point is, we did it. Like, we went to outer space. We landed on the moon. We were there first. We were there first.
That's right.
And and here's the thing. I call every actual astronaut, not a fucking celebrity that pays whatever to go sit in a tube for 5 minutes and be weightless. They're not astronauts. They are at best space travelers. Actual astronauts, I have been calling them this for 20 years, goddamn American heroes. Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, Jim Lovell, Michael Collins, all of them. Every last one of them, goddamn American heroes. They sat in tin cans with less computing power than what's in my hand right now.
They had
and they managed
of a calculator.
Land. Right. They landed on the damn moon and then shot themselves back into space and calculated a friggin' trajectory to get back to Earth and landed and hit the water. Like, that to me is amazing. Yeah. I hope I live long enough, and I hope this country has enough gumption and enough drive that I live long enough to see human beings on Mars. I want to see human beings on Mars. I mean, shit, I'd love to see somebody get on the moon again, but I'd love to see somebody get on Mars.
Why
especially, particularly, I'd like to see an American get on Mars. I don't know why. See, this is the shit that I get very
I just think,
USA about. It's like, the World Cup, the Olympics, getting an American somewhere that other people haven't gone yet. Just walk on Mars, put a plaque down, and then stick the flag in the ground. And then if you want to hightail it out of there, great. But
I don't understand why there hasn't been a president since like Clinton, Bush, Obama, Biden, Trump. I don't understand why one of them doesn't see like the patriotic value and is like, I don't give a damn that we've already been there. We're going back. We're going back to the moon. But
like they got they have the Artemis project.
Now with newer technology, better cameras, you can get better footage. Now with newer technology, better cameras, you can get better footage of the moon, right?
Don't start with me, Thomas. Don't start with me on this. we all see, that's the other thing. If those people that believe that the moon landing was faked, I'm not getting into it. I'm not getting into it. But NASA is a fraction. It is what this country spends on the amount of shit that it spends on. It spends a minuscule fraction on NASA. And to me, space exploration, research and development. That's one of those things that it's a morale booster. It's something that's just beneficial for society. You're going to outer space. You're going to outer space.
Final thing, then we're going to get to Saint stuff. If you want to feel good about America and patriot, it's a great speech. It's Reagan after the Challenger exploded. And it's just...
It's a good speech. It is.
Everything you love, no matter your politics, everything you love about America and what we try to do, and he takes some veiled shots at Russia, how we're America's about freedom and we don't cover stuff up. It's a great speech. It's like 3 minutes. It's probably Reagan, his best, maybe one of his best ones. But anyway, check it out. But anyway, me and Kevin, we're feeling patriotic today. We wanted to say, we love America. You should love America too. All right, Thomas, we got some July 4th themed mailbag questions.
Yes, sir.
All right, hit us up with one.
From our Saints Happy Hour Discord, Patreon Discord. First question from Saints Rabbit, the usual suspect. He asks, which Saints player, past or present, would be most likely to have a Jason Pierre-Paul level of firework accident?
Oh, this is a good... this is a tough one. I want to say Chauncey Gardner-Johnson just because he's a little bit wild. The name that popped in my head, Kevin, the two names that popped in my head really fast were...
Junior Galette.
That's who I was thinking.
Junior Galette. That was one that popped in my head. And unfortunately... very traumatic from my childhood, Ricky Jackson, Saints Hall of Famer. Because remember, he was going like 150 miles an hour in his car and almost died and like fractured his face and had to wear he started wearing the Darth Vader helmet with all the bars. I feel like he would be a little bit potentially reckless with the fireworks. Yeah, Pierre-Paul Thumb. The thing that's crazy about him is he still had a really good career post blowing up his hand, which was incredible. Can you think of any other Saints players that you wouldn't want to be operating fireworks around? I think,
let me think of like reckless people or people who come off as a little bit too wild.
Brandon Browner.
Yeah, I would think Kyle Turley.
Ooh, yeah.
Shockey wouldn't want to handle the fireworks. Shockey would just want to hang off to the side and just be getting blitzed.
Yeah. Shockey would be all about blowing stuff up.
Right. No. He'd be fine. Like, he's fine looking at the explosions, but he's like, not. Shockey is the guy Shockey is very much I don't own a boat, but I know a guy who owns a boat.
That's right.
Like, he's that guy. He doesn't want to deal with paying dock fees and worrying about paying to get the barnacles cleaned off and all that shit. He's like, no. I'll bring the booze. You have the boat. That's right. And you have the fishing lines, and we'll go out.
You have the guy that the boat owner calls every time he brings the boat out. Correct.
You take care of the fireworks. I'll bring over some steak and some Johnny Walker Blue and whatever else, and we'll go to town.
There's Johnny Walker Blue? What?
Yeah, there's a Johnny Walker Blue, a red, and a black.
I only know of red and black. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think blue is the most. I think blue is the rare one.
Yeah, I'm not a Johnny Walker.
Yeah, I've never seen blue one. I mean, I guess me too. I'm not a big whiskey guy.
Or Happy Van Winkle, all of that. So that I'm sure people in the comments, if you can think of a Saints player that.
I like your Ricky Williams idea. I think Ricky Williams could mistake a blunt for a firework.
No, I was thinking Ricky Jackson, but Ricky Williams. I think Ricky Williams would be smoke marijuana, watch the fireworks, not play with the fireworks.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. What's next, Thomas?
Okay. Next question. I think this is going to be a short one, if I remember correctly, and I do. Don Checo asks, who is the Saints' Benedict Arnold?
If you're talking players, you could argue Chauncey Gardner. Hang on. My initial inclination was not a player. It was going to be Greg Williams, or what's his face that initially sold everybody out with
Mike Cirillo?
Yeah.
That's the good one. See, I was thinking players. So, and by the way,
you say Joe Horn or Bobby Hebert or something? Is that?
Yeah, I would. By the way, Thomas didn't know who Benedict Arnold was. Benedict Arnold was the first traitor to America, Thomas, back in the Revolutionary War times.
He was a pretty good general and thought he was going to get command of the Continental Army, and then got passed over for George Washington, and then I think something else happened, and then he reached out to the British and was like, "Hey, I'm willing to do this and this if you allow me to do this." And yeah, he got found out, and I can't remember if he got killed or not.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Benedict Arnold. I was thinking either Bobby Hebert, because he went to because to be Benedict Arnold, you not only have to leave, you have to go to the enemy, right? So Bobby Hebert, Morton Anderson, I think very much so. He went to Atlanta, and he was at Atlanta a long time, and he was actually more successful with Atlanta than Bobby Hebert was. But I think, Kevin, if you're gonna measure it as the strongest case of the person that did the most damage, Mike Cirillo's got to be number one, because Bobby Hebert was annoying, Morton Anderson was annoying, Sam Mills leaving was annoying, but we don't even care about Carolina. So I think Cirillo, because Cirillo did a lot of that was a lot of damage to the Saints or Bountygate. I mean, it wiped a complete year of Drew Brees at his absolute apex. It wiped it off the map in 2012, right? So I think it's Mike. I think it's Mike Cirillo.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that answer. Also, found out Benedict Arnold managed to escape the Revolutionary War. He actually didn't. He full-on defected back to the British, and then went back to London in 1791, and then died in London 10 years later. So, There you go.
Bennett.
He was not hanged for his treachery.
He got away. He skedaddled out of town. All right, Thomas, what's next?
All right, next question from Bulky, and he asks, the 4th is my birthday. How should the Saints honor me? Happy birthday, Bulky.
Happy birthday. 4th of July. That's a good birthday, I think. Like, if you're going to have a birthday at a certain time of year, 4th of July is good, because Christmas birthdays stink, because you just get drowned out by Christmas, right? If you're on Christmas,
right?
If Christmas Eve or Christmas has got to be like the worst birthday.
Christmas Eve, Christmas, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, because it's so close to Christmas, and because there's so much other stuff going on that people just don't have time to think about you. Even Thanksgiving, like if your birthday is from, say, Thanksgiving through the first week of January, that's I would say that's a shitty time for a birthday.
Yeah, like Max, his birthday this year, I want to say, is on Thanksgiving. His birthday is my son's birthday is November 27th. Thanksgiving is November 27th. So, like, we're probably not, because it's his birthday and he gets so sad, we're probably not going to go into New Orleans, because my wife is like, you're going to go into New Orleans, you're going to have 60 people. They don't care about his birthday, really. I mean, my family does kind of, but not really. And so, like, Thanksgiving's a terrible one. But I think of, like, all the big events, like holidays, like July 4th.
July 4th, I would say it might be the best one. I think Halloween, it could be good if you have a birthday on that.
What about
because
New Year?
It's far. Say again.
What about New Year's Eve?
No.
New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. It's too it's too close to Christmas, and everybody is so, like, you've still got the Christmas hangover headed into the New Year, and then plus there's so much hubbub dealing with New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, the events going on with that. It's your birthday gets drowned out.
So how should the Saints honor Balky on 4th of July? I would say the best way to honor
They should
Balky,
replace the doctors with, Bulky's friends.
I would say they should honor you by signing Asante Samuel Jr. at corner. That would be a great way to honor you, because the Saints need somebody in the secondary. Be a great 4th of July gift to you and to everyone. That's my way to honor him.
Record a video of Tyler Shuck reading the preamble to the Constitution.
By the way, Tyler Shuck, I don't know if he's going to be any good at quarterback. He is a tour de force on podcasts, just creating sound bites. Incredible.
Yeah, he's handling the PR quite well.
He is handling the PR incredibly well.
Again, this right here, like, if you are a professor at a college, or if you are a high school teacher and you teach public relations to your kids, you need to look at what Derek Carr was doing and what Tyler Shuck has been doing.
Yes.
And that is and if you want to throw in Anthony Davis when he skedaddled out of New Orleans and couldn't be bothered to say thank you, still hasn't. Bring that up. Like, this shit is not hard if you are a professional athlete. And especially if you're a professional athlete and you have a team of people around you, like, somebody should be saying, what can we do to ingratiate ourselves to the local populace, to sort of just get them on our side a little bit and win a few people over before they even see me throw a ball, catch a ball, do whatever, hit a puck, whatever. Do something out of the sphere of athletics, and then whenever you're a guest somewhere, say something nice about where you are.
Yeah.
It's not hard, man. It really isn't.
It's so easy. And the thing is, as fans, we don't know if it's an act or it's sincere. We don't even care. We just want you to do it. And he's doing it. And I like, he's my quarterback now. I want him.
Here's the thing. It's easy. It is. I think people eventually start to care if they sense you're being disingenuous about it. And then they really care if they think you're disingenuous and you stink or are mediocre.
That's right.
But if you get it, but Shuck so far has me believing that, you know what? He's at least fascinated, or he's at least enjoying himself, and he doesn't mind telling you that he's enjoying himself. And so thus, if he comes out and he's average actually playing, if he's average, I can still say, hey, the guy still enjoys being here, and he's average. So, you know, you tend to just let more things slide.
I'll make a prediction. Tyler Shuck can be exactly as good as Derek Carr on the field. But because we really like his personality and he seems like a really cool dude, we'll let him be our quarterback for a decade. And he could be the exact same quarterback as Derek Carr on the field. The exact same. All the same flaws, and we'll let him be a quarterback for a decade.
I don't know about a decade.
You don't know? I
don't know about it. Here's the thing. I think he could be exactly Derek Carr, but if personality-wise, he's the same guy he's been thus far. I think Saints fans give him at least 5 years.
Oh,
you say a decade, I say 5 years. I think he gets through the rookie contract, and he'd, you know, I think you'd see a minor debate about whether or not to re-sign the new deal.
I think the hard thing to know, and you can't know it yet, is if Derek Carr was in a functional situation in Oakland/Las Vegas with a really good coach, how would that have gone? Like if Kellen Moore is like Dan Campbell quality coach, and he's got the Saints winning, but you can't quite get over the hump with Shuck, kind of like with Goff with the Lions. I think we'll let Shuck be here a long time. Like if the Saints are winning, but they're not quite winning titles, I think we'll let Shuck be here a long time. Now, if he's putting up Derek Carr numbers and they're going 8-9, 7-10, that's a different thing. But if he's Derek Carr and they're in the playoffs pretty consistently, I think because we like him, we'll let him hang around for he'll get a second contract with the Saints, I think.
Yeah. No, that I agree with. That I agree with.
It's hard to know because the Derek Carr quarterback, the on the field stuff is like he's just good enough to where you are afraid to get rid of him because you know you could do a lot worse, but you really, really know you need to do better than Derek Carr if you want to win and be a serious title contender. So Derek Carr, his on the field play is like a weird delineation point for quarterbacks. So if Shuck slides right into that, it becomes messy, and other factors would figure into how long he stays with the Saints. But that was a good discussion. Thomas, what's next?
All right, one more question from Don Checo, and he asks, which Saint was/is most like George Washington? And you cannot say Drew Brees.
Well, this is a good question, Kevin. Like, what is like the father of the Saints? Because George Washington is the father of our country.
Archie.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Archie Manning. Because listen, George Washington, as a general, was getting his ass kicked a lot in the American Revolution. Like he was getting he was getting hammered left and right, and he had to escape a lot of perilous situations. And if you want me to think of a guy who had to escape a lot of perilous situations, who was getting hammered, and who somehow, I think the one, obviously, Archie never got to have a winning season.
Archie never got his Yorktown.
Right. Archie never got to sneak across the Delaware in the middle of the winter, or have his Valley Forge moment. But I don't know. I think Archie might be the answer. I would like to see if there's a better answer.
I mean, you can't say anybody from besides Archie. You can't really say anybody from the 7. John Meekum was a disaster. I mean, I guess if you want to say the father of the Saints, like I would argue Jim Mora, in a sense of Jim Mora was the first coach the Saints had that wasn't past their sell date, was a really good, like Bum Phillips, still great on defense. His offense was horrible, and like the NFL had passed him by. Hank Stram, same thing. The Saints got him, but the NFL had kind of passed him by. And Jim Mora was the first one. Jim Mora and Jim Finks were the first. That was the first time the Saints organization was really run like a professional football team. So, I think, but I like your answer of Archie. I just, Archie never, the no winning season makes it hard. But I do think it's Archie. Archie just, the thing why Archie is so beloved is Archie had many opportunities in the 70s to say, I'm leaving this dump. You people are dysfunctional. You are trash. And you are breaking my body, literally. Archie Manning in the 70s, invented a whole fitness program with Mackie Shilstone, because he's like, if I don't go extra mile fitness, I'll just die because I'm getting sacked 50 times a year. Archie Manning had many times to just be like, I'm done with this. I'm going to the World Football League. Trade me, get me out of here. And let me tell you something.
That's how Mackie Shilstone got famous. He kept Archie Manning alive.
That's right. That's exactly what he did. So Archie Manning in the 70s, he could have been like, get me out of here. And I'm telling you, the smart teams, the Raiders, I'm trying to, maybe not Dallas, but Washington, the really smart NFL teams of the day would have been like, yes, we will take Archie, and Archie would have had a different second half of his career trajectory. But the reason we loved Archie is Archie constantly said, I don't want to go out somewhere else and try to win, because I've invested so much time here. I want to win here. And it's important to me that we succeed here. And that's why we love him. And it would have been real easy for George Washington to be like, I'm picking the good team. I'm going with the good team, the British. But he didn't. And I feel like your choice of Archie Manning is a good one, Kevin.
Thank you.
He just needed that one more season, one season of winning. And
he just needed one season where they went 9-5? Is it this? They were still doing
9-7, 10-6.
Well, no, weren't they doing 14 games when he was still playing?
Yeah, they didn't do 16 until the late 70s.
So they needed a 9-5 season.
8-6.
8-6. They needed something where they would get a winning record and then maybe one playoff appearance, and it would be full on George Washington.
That's what
it would be. Full bore George. Just take the helmet off, put the tri-corner hat on, and because look, that offensive line, you might as well have wrapped the head bandage around him and given him a damn piccolo or whatever it is that they were playing.
I want to say this about Archie Manning. I saw a video of him at the Manning Passing Academy, still looking good, but I love the fact that he was talking about how they pick the college quarterbacks to be counselors. And he said he he's friendly with Todd McShay, and we use Todd McShay's rankings because Todd McShay is a better draft analyst than Mel Kiper. And he just went at Mel Kiper, wasn't provoked or anything, just went strong at Mel Kiper. And I was like, you go, Archie, man. And you're pushing 80, and you're just firing strays at Mel Kiper at your quarterback.
Yeah, but they're not strays. They're not strays. He's literally taking square aim. Like Archie, like it's like, wait a minute, what's happening here? There are no strays. It's literally Archie deciding, you know what? I'm just gonna take a shit on this guy just cause.
It's great. It was
because I can.
It was great. So anyway, guys, thanks for the hanging out with us, and thanks for Thomas for running the show, Back and Pole, and Kevin hanging out with me. And guys, become a patron, support the show, patreon.com/Saints Happy Hour. All the support we can get, you should support an award-winning podcast. So until next time, the bar is closed.
Go watch Jaws.